Mrs. Thistlethwaite.
Oh my God, yeah. So Mrs. Thistlethwaite is a thistle sifter. Try saying that several times.
Well,
well,
they did. That was the whole thing.
When I was so Fionn Naismith, who plays Nancy Littman, used to be my drama teacher.
Oh right, okay.
And
at Chesterfield College.
No. This was way. But she's an incredible woman. I did. It was the RISC, Regional Youth Shakespeare Company.
Wow.
And we did unedited Shakespeare, and we were like 9, 10,
Amazing.
11 years old.
Right.
And people used to come to us and like, how the hell do they get kids to do Shakespeare?
Okay.
Oh, well, it's Fionn, and incredible, yeah. And one of the warm-ups was tongue twisters. So at the start of everything. So there'd be that one. Unique New York was another one.
Okay.
People always go with like things like red lorry, yellow lorry, but that's actually can be quite simple. But when you
rolled that off pretty quick as well.
There you go. Acting boy. I did want to be an actor.
Do you?
Yeah, so, I did want to.
Okay, not anymore?
No, I did a couple of roles in things. There's a film on Netflix at the moment called Outlawed.
Okay.
It was shot in Nottingham, and I was in that. I played the main character as a kid in the flashback scenes.
Right.
And then I was in Utopia on Channel 4.
Okay.
Which was this like enigmatic crime thriller thing. I was just an extra. There was really got a lot of backlash actually, but there was a school shooting scene. Okay. So I was in that as one of the kids. I was like 11, 12. But I was I mean, even now, I will constantly look 5 years younger than I am.
Right.
And back then, I looked really sweet and young, you know. I wasn't like most 12-year-olds now, you know, kind of just started puberty. I was this sweet little kid, and they thought, okay, he'd look good on the floor. Right, so, you know, it was, I took it because it was great. We shot that down in Liverpool. So yeah, I did want to be an actor, and I think that came out of doing drama with Fionn. And one of the tongue twisters that we used to do was Mrs. Thistlethwaite is the thistle sifter. And you have to say Mrs. Thistlethwaite is the thistle sifter, and it goes on and on and on. Okay. And I thought that would, I don't know, I was writing that because originally stand-up wasn't about like it wasn't about a comedian,
right? Okay.
It was about and there wasn't it was about an actor, and I can't remember who the other role was, but it wasn't a woman. It wasn't a woman.
Okay, have you based it on something in real life or something?
No, Daniel Lawrence is like me, kind of, in a way, slightly, in the kind of. He's a bit of a self-pitying arsehole sometimes, but there's some very wise comments in there. Actually, I've got to say, it's very, very impressed. I mean, you've got a sort of. So this is on Amazon Prime. At the moment, it's on Amazon Prime.
So check it out on Amazon Prime.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I think
it's fantastic. I mean, it's about 45 minutes long. 40 minutes. Yeah, it's 45 minutes long.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So simple, but you watch it. It's one of those things you got to watch. I mean, technically, there is some. You know, I mean, because we shot this on zero budget. It was £2 because if you watch £2, yeah,
a packet of fags.
But they weren't real fags. It was just like herbs that we got off of Amazon.
I wondered about that because she was smoking inside. Is that Fionn?
Yeah, that's Fionn. Yeah.
Okay, so she was smoking inside. I wondered what Paul Birch, who owns the Avenue, I wondered what how you did that.
We couldn't smoke in the dressing rooms.
Okay,
but we could actually legally smoke in the big open area with the dance floor and the stage because it was so open.
Right,
and,
okay.
The fire alarms.
I thought it might be all right. Actually, it's a huge space, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, in Hollywood, they can't actually smoke tobacco anyway on sets. You do have to smoke herbs.
Right.
You can't just smoke cigarettes. So I just got these herbs off of Amazon and stuffed the cigarettes.
Did you?
Yeah. So that was our budget, basically. That was our budget, was the cigarettes that because there's something about that. She was kind of based as well off of Fran Lebowitz, she wrote Social Studies and Metropolitan Life in New York in the 70s. She worked under Andy Warhol, and she was like 20.
Okay, right.
And she was quite, she was young, and she started writing books. She's a witty woman, and she smokes like a chimney.
Right.
So I thought,
okay,
I've got to write that into something somehow.
Okay, cool.
So there was that element to it. Yeah.
Okay, that was cool. Yeah.
I can't remember where we were now.
And we're just talking about stand up.
Yeah.
Just give them everything. I mean, you've got to watch it. In fact, let's cut to a scene now.
Might I take a look at your script?
By all means.
Thank you. see what we've got here. No. This will never do. Look, would it cause you too many technical problems if you were to change the wording of Daniel's introduction?
Daniel?
Daniel Lawrence, the comedian. I'm his manager, Helen Danes.
My apologies. Silly me. Freddie.
Is that too much to ask?
No, certainly not. What seems to be the problem then?
It's not a problem as such, but it's this bit here. We'd like to avoid any mention of the untoward incident.
Oh, I see. You're referring...
There we go.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So
that then. So that was like scene 3. The third scene, I know it well because it's my favourite scene when she speaks to the announcer, Jeanette. Jeanette Barnes. Like she's a goddess. She's amazing.
All right.
The scene where she because this is Daniel. You haven't seen the film. You probably haven't. It's about a comedian making his comeback, and in a cabaret show, and it's like this sort of crap, sort of really low budget. The acts there are sort of all faded and gone away. No one knows who they are, or they're up and coming, and it's the only thing they could get. And this is Daniel Lawrence, who was a big guy.
It's a big return for him, isn't it?
Yeah. His backstory is he had a bit of a breakdown on his show Saturday Stand Up.
Yeah, we don't know exactly. Well, we allude to that, don't you? Allude to that. It's not exact, but you know it's quite a big deal what happened, and it kind of almost destroyed him. Yeah,
and I think that's the point. And then he's isolated for like I think it's a decade, and then he makes his comeback. And the thing is that Helen Danes, his manager, who used to manage him back in the days, sort of convinced her to come back on board and help him back up. She's like a mother figure and a wife. She's like this sort of thing in a way.
I get that.
She's neither, but in the way that sort of like, I mean, I don't. My mum's always given me that sort of like tough love, which is what is needed. I think, you know, not tough love as in like really harsh, but there's that sort of like. You know, it's not all lovey-dovey. It's like a you've got to really
stand up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself, exactly. And I think men are nothing without women, and so I like I say in the original, it was 2 men, and so I thought, well, not only should his manager be a woman, but also of an older and a lot sort of smaller in frame, but fierier with how she conducts herself and manages him.
But she was still there at the side of the stage, like, come on, egging him on
because
the end,
she knew he wasn't going to turn around. And he knew, and it's that recognition of like, that is a direct. If in the end of the film, he goes on. And
do you want to spoil it for anyone, or do you want to get him to watch it?
It's one of those things. It's like 45 minutes long. It's more of an experience. You should watch it. But the end is directly influenced by Whiplash. That's all I should say. That type of thing. That scene where the announcer is sort of like chatting about he's planning the intro, and then, ladies and gentlemen, now we've got Daniel Lawrence. And she realises that in his script he mentions that he broke down. This is his comeback, and and she knows that that would be really sort of like demeaning to him. So
I mean, he doesn't want to hear that just before he goes on.
Exactly. And she wants to, and this show is anything but a comeback. So it's that scene, that sort of like conversation between them where she's getting him to adjust the script, and it's basically her words word for word, and she goes, wonderful, fantastic. She played it so well. Yes, I did like her performance in that. She was so good.
Very much so.
She was so good.
I think she was the most convincing of all of them, actually. So very, very good indeed.
She's theatrical mainly. She's
theatre.
But she did films. She was in The Borrowers, I think.
I seem to recognise her face.
She's one of those that I just like. Steve Dalton was great as well. I mean, who played Daniel Lawrence?
The lead guy.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's big on the sort of like indie film scene.
Right.
He did a film called Hellraiser. It was a strange sort of film, but I thought, but yeah, I knew him through. I did a show in Barrow Hill.
Did you? Right,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a show called Down the Line.
Barrow.
Barrow. At the Roundhouse with all the trains.
Yeah, fantastic.
Down the Line, and Steve was. We were all amateurs, and then they had like 5 serious actors, and Steve was one of them. And I told myself, I have to work with every one of those at some point.
Wow.
And 2 of them, actually, one was the announcer that was in stand-up, and the other one is Steve. And I've worked with all of them now. Because they're so good.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So. Good for you, man. Excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing that thing with Fionn with the Shakespeare stuff.
Yeah.
At the age of 10.
9.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 9.
You did Shakespeare at 9.
Well, weirdly, I think I was actually because the way that Risk used to work was in the spring we'd write our own plays, which was amazing for me to learn about sort of like writing fiction, or adapting fact to fiction or whatever. And then in the summer we'd do Shakespeare, and then in the winter we'd do a Christmas show, and it'd be musical.
Right.
So they'd have me singing "Look, Be a Lady" or "Oh, What a Circus," but in Latin. So it was crazy, and it was such an education for me.
Great.
But yeah, I sometimes feel like I don't give her the credit, because I'm still friends with my best mate is her son.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Ether. And he's like the cleverest guy I know. He's amazing. Cool. And she's just wonderful. And yeah, so she got us doing all that kind of stuff. And I think I was because my birthday is the 15th of December. I think I would have been 8 when I started, actually. Wow. I turned 9 just before we did that Christmas show, and then the new year started, and I was new to the whole thing, because the first thing I did was a Christmas show, and I did "Who Will Buy." That's what I sung.
Oh yeah.
And I did that with a girl called Lottie Bluewater.
Okay, what a name!
A great name, name. Lovely girl. And and we did that, and then Shakespeare and all that kind of stuff, I suppose.
So you're completely au fait with all Shakespeare's works?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Before, I mean, they'd been going a couple of years before I joined.
Yeah. Okay.
I joined because my friend Patrick, I haven't spoken to him in a while actually, but he used to go and said, "Oh, you should come along," so I did. And so I think they've done Midsummer Night's Dream, which I love. I've got that at home.
Right. Yeah.
Book, and I read that. I love Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah. Great.
I'm trying to adapt that into something at the moment, and so. There's that, and I did Taming of the Shrew and Julius Caesar.
Amazing, right?
Julius Caesar as Marcus Cato, and I got to say bastard, and that was amazing, because not only we did 3 shows, we did 2 at night and a matinee, which means afternoon basically.
Okay.
And I got to go on stage with 2 daggers and say, "What bastard doth not? I am Marcus Cato."
Excellent.
Yeah, so I felt very empowered by that.
Excellent, man. Cool. And where was that based?
That was Nottingham.
Oh, that was Nottingham.
That was Nottingham. Okay. Although I suppose I've always sort of like dabbling in that, because to bring it back to Chesterfield.